All right. My glasses falling up. All right, let's get them started. Music going? Oh yeah. Those of us indulge in or commit intellectual violence don't do so for the pleasure of mental masturbation. We do so because to change the expression of deep and difficult truth. Good morning, my children of the sun. Welcome to the Open Eye. I'm your host, Third Eye Optometrist, Patrice Gibbs. Yes, indeed, here to get it started. And it's a lot been going on this week, ain't it? You been paying attention? I hope you have. Oh boy. Because if you haven't, don't worry, I got you. That's right. Yeah, buddy. Oh, it's all kind of stuff getting going here. I got something for you. You know that. First of all, first thing I'm gonna do, and this is what I was looking for. Good morning, Sherry. How you doing? My favorite Facebook cuz. Tracy. Respect Queen. Yes, indeed. All right, the first thing I want to do here is remind people why we do what we do. Listen, Open Eye listeners already know this. Some of you knew, some of you I'm reminding. Okay, the speed of communications is wondrous to behold. It's also true that that speed can multiply the distribution of information that we know to be untrue. That's a quote from Edward R. Murrow. I tell you, look it up, do some damn research. Edward R. Murrow is the model of broadcast journalism. In the current 24-second news cycle, information reaches the masses at blinding speed. Unfortunately, this information is often poorly researched and filled with falsehoods and misinformation. This leaves us with an uneducated, uninformed, misled, misinformed community. Mainstream media, which is completely corporate owned, have become nothing more than stenographers and mouthpieces for the powers that be, rarely exploring or investigating anything beyond what they are told. Mainstream journalism has become a joke. That joke is fair and balanced reporting. Unfortunately, it's a joke on the uninformed, misinformed populace. Another quote from Edward R. Murrow. I simply cannot accept that there are, on every story, two equal and logical sides to an argument. Somebody's right and somebody's wrong. That's it. There are 1,500 newspapers, 1,100 magazines, 9,000 radio stations, and 1,500 TV stations. 2,400 publishers owned by only 3 corporations. All right. Welcome to the Open Eye. What is the Open Eye about? The Open Eye radio show is about keeping your vision clear. The Open Eye is about well-researched, accurate reporting, and honest, fearless social political commentary free of corporate influence. Our community must have information not based on emotionalism, sensationalism, or manipulation, but information that is well analyzed, clear, and concise that will educate the community. We must control the narrative and the propaganda that reaches our community. At Open Eye, we understand the importance of this. It's for this reason that we have decided to take on the responsibility of keeping our community well informed. I'm Patrice Gibbs, the third eye on top of this. The views and opinions expressed on Open Eye are those of the host, guests, and contributors, and do not reflect the policy or position of WHGE 95.3 FM, nor our sponsor, the Delaware Center for Homeless Veterans. Any content provided by Open Eye's hosts, guests, or contributors are theirs and are not intended to belong.
Hello, what's good, y'all? Glad y'all tuned in. What's up, Sherry, Tracy? I see y'all. You know what it is. Nsoromma in the building.
WHGE 95.3 FM. Patrice Gibbs, third eye optometrist, joined by Nsoromma, our intellectual surgeon. What's up, brother? How you doing this morning?
Chop, 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 chop. Yeah, what's up, world? What's good? What's good?
Yeah.
Blessings, blessings. You dig?
That's right.
Yo, everything good, man. I heard you coming in.
Word.
I made it every day earlier, yo.
Yeah. You probably come on time today.
Super time.
The hell's going on?
Yo, I got my daughter too, baby.
Oh, okay. Hey.
Yeah.
What's up? I didn't even look up to see who it was. That's where. How you doing, y'all? All right. You've been here before. Welcome to the Open Eye. Yes, indeed. First of all, yeah, I know. Black History Month was last month. But that don't mean we stop.
That's a long life thing for me. I'm black, period.
Dog, all right.
That's with me forever.
Yes, indeed. And and this is March. So what is this? I think it's Women's Month or something like that.
Who said that you can only recognize black excellence in 1 month?
I don't know who said it, but they can go to hell.
That was me.
I don't know who said that mess. Yo, but I got something for them.
Black history is black life. So that's forever, for real.
Forever. I tell you, I got some black history for you.
What?
All right. First, we're going to start with, since it's Women's Month or something like that.
It was Women's Day. That was the first Women's Day? It's Women's Month?
March is Women's Month.
A whole month.
We
don't get a man's month.
Come on, man.
We making up all
Yeah. But that being the case, being that I love black women.
I love black women. Yes, and white women and the Chinese, and I love them.
Okay. I'm not that good.
But
I ain't that good. Yeah. Look, I want to tell you about Charlotte E. Ray.
Okay.
Charlotte E. Ray was the first black female lawyer in the United States.
Okay.
She was born in 1850 in New York City to Charlotte Augusta Burroughs and Reverend Bennett Ray. Her father was a prominent abolitionist, an important figure in the abolitionist movement, and editor of a paper called The Colored American.
Right.
Charlotte attended the Institution for the Education of Colored Youth in Washington, D.C. And she became a teacher at Howard University. She attended Howard's Law School and specialized in commercial law. She graduated on February 27, 1872, and was the first woman to graduate from the Howard University School of Law. Some claim she applied under the name C.E. Ray and an alternate name to disguise her gender so that her admission would not be instantly revoked. Okay, even in the black community and what have you, they still discriminated against women. Even our own sometimes did that.
They still do that.
Yeah. That's what. But she, was a brilliant student. And she was the first woman allowed to practice and argue in the Supreme Court in Washington, D.C. She would later devote her professionalism to the Brooklyn school system. She died in 1911. That was Charlotte E. Ray.
Charlotte E. Ray.
Yes, someone that should be celebrated.
Well,
I think
I should celebrate my daughter too. I was just thinking about that because she has a some of her art in the museum. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, word?
Yeah, I want you to tell them about it a little
Tell
bit.
us about that, young.
Yo, here. Tell them about the thing a little bit. You know, where it's at, where they can go visit it at.
Okay.
I'm proud of her, you know what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
I'm in the unpublished nigga. It's an exhibition set up by Shakira Hunt and Seven God. It's in the Delaware Contemporary.
All right.
I got I got 6 pieces in it.
All right.
The free-ish. But yeah, it's a dope exhibit. It's in the Delaware Contemporary right now.
All right.
Yeah.
Go see
You know what
that.
I'm saying? Yes.
Go see that. Yanni McFly. Yeah, that's word. All right. Now, with all the stuff that's going on,
Right.
Specifically, the war, Russia has attacked the Ukraine.
Oh, man, yes,
A lot of us, we don't know much about Russia. We really don't. We know something about the USSR and the propaganda and this, that, the other.
Right.
But Russia has a very interesting, rich history.
Uh-huh.
And the most interesting thing is where their written language comes from. Did you know, to this day, the man considered the father of Russian literature is a black man by the name of Alexander Pushkin. He descended from distinguished Afro-Russian family of the nobility. His great-grandfather was Abraham Petrovich Hannibal. Interesting name.
Hannibal.
Yeah. A Russian military engineer, major general, and nobleman of African origin. Now, Alexander Pushkin, like I said, the father of Russian literature,
right,
is not only the father of the literature, but he is the father of the written language. He organized the spoken language. He was the first writer to write in Russian. He made the grammatical rules for the Russian language. Black man. All the way up in Russia. We everywhere. Don't get that mixed.
I mean, when you was the first, you're going to be everywhere.
Well, you got that right.
You know?
Yes, indeed. You first.
Like Jan was telling me earlier, she's like the oldest human carcass was ever found. It was supposed to be found in Africa, and they was like, it was yeah. So I mean, truth is truth. You can't get around the truth.
Can't get around it.
Yo, what do you think about the in Russia and the war and Ukraine and all of that? And they still pulling this racist card, throwing people off the train, throwing black people off the train.
You know what?
I mean, I don't understand what's going on with America. You don't see that on the news. You don't see none of this on the news. You know, and that's what's so messed up about America to me. You know what I mean? We go to run and save other people. We ain't even saving our own country. You know?
How about that? And see, you know what?
What?
The thing about the Africans that are stuck in the Ukraine,
right?
Okay. What's happened is not only the Ukrainian government stopped the Africans from getting on the trains and what have you first, but when they did reach the border of Poland and these other countries and what have you, they were met with violence and guns pointed at them. Okay. See, and the crazy thing is when I see all these black people, well, you know, what Russia did is wrong, and that's true. Putin's a gangster. Don't get him this. He's a KGB gangster. All right. But like I said, you know, what he did was wrong and this, that, and the other.
But how can you feel for them and can't feel for the black person?
Right. That's what I'm saying.
I don't get that. I don't really understand how the brainwash.
Indoctrination.
Yo, that's incredible.
Yes. And like I said, when you see black people, black people saying, you know, we got to support the Ukraine.
Right.
And
you feel sorry for them, and then it hurts you to see that. What about seeing that for us as black people being hung and dragged and killed and shot in their bed while they sleep? I mean, all kind of stuff that goes on within our human nationality. You know, I mean, when are we going to stand up and start doing that to other nationalities?
Yeah, that's what.
To stand up for ourselves. We have to stand up for ourselves.
We got to.
I mean, back in the day, they used to do that in black kids wasn't getting killed. Something happened to a black kid, something happened to a white kid. And you don't want it to happen. War is war, and you see it for yourself. Russia don't care about Ukraine right now. They want that. Right. They don't care who's dying. You know what I'm saying? So we've been dying since we came to America, which they say, which we've been here. Really,
But I will tell you this about Russia.
What?
Okay. Russia is the only superpower never to
attack Africa.
Right, and try to colonize
team
Africa.
Up with them. Yeah,
right.
Team up with somebody. Yeah. They are the only one that did that.
They're the only ones, okay? As an African, I'm more interested in the stories of racism that my compatriots are facing from the Ukrainian and Polish side in this Russian-Ukraine conflict.
Right.
If people can be so casually racist in a crisis, here you are in the midst of war, but damn if you ain't take time to be racist against black people.
I mean, that is real ignorant. And then when all of the dust settled and black people are the only one with the food, but who they gonna run to?
See, here's the thing I said to black people.
And we'll still share because we're not hard.
Yeah,
we're not
that's
hard
who
with
we
it
are.
like that. Yeah, and you will still help them out. No matter all the stuff they put us through, man. I don't get that.
Here's the thing. Now, this whole Russia, Ukrainian conflict, and you know, the Western powers, of course, are teaming up against Russia.
Right.
And people are saying there could be World War III. Here's what I want to tell you, black people, Africans throughout the world, on the motherland and throughout the diaspora. That means here in America and the Caribbean, wherever black people or Africans are. I use the terms interchangeably. Pay attention, not so much with concern, but with intention. Now, what's that mean?
What's that mean, Mr. Gibbs?
What that means is watch this white on white crime, because this is what is happening. Watch this white on white crime and watch them destroy each other and be there to pick up the pieces and take over. Watch with concern. I mean, watch not so much with concern, but with intention. Now, have you seen the reports from the Europeans on the refugees from the Ukraine?
Nah.
Oh, it's the most racist crap you ever wanted to hear. Last word. These white reporters are on there. Wait a minute, I got some stuff here. Right, they on there talking about, you know, oh, it's just heart-wrenching to see these people be refugees because, you know, they're white and they're European and they're civilized, and to see them attack and have to leave their country. These are middle-class people, educated. This is in Europe, you know, as if the people in Africa and the Middle East, okay, don't get it mixed. I'm not a big fan of no Arab, okay, but as if, you know, them being victims of war and refugees and what have you is a normal, okay thing. But for it to happen to Europeans, oh my God, how appalling that is.
Oh, for it to land home, when it always hit home, it's a different feeling.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's what you got to do. That's what we got to do. We got to make them feel it at home like we feel it at home.
That's right.
I'm a strong believer of you do this to me, I'm going to do this to you worse. So, you know, listen to me. That's real, and this is the world that we in, man. And you have to educate yourself and become a better person to be a better society. And everybody got to participate. The ones that ain't participating, they get it. It's just that simple.
It's just that simple.
Period.
You know? And like I said, now, the crazy thing about and this is the reason that I opened the show with the open eye profile and what we're about. We're not corporate control. Right. Now, I saw on a clip from MSNBC from the Joy Reid show, whatever her show was called. Okay. And they're talking about the Africans being, you know, rejected at the border and told that they have to wait until the white Ukrainians get out before they could do anything. And she had this guest on there that said, you know, we have to be careful with this propaganda because, you know, you can't give any credibility to social media and what have you. And there's an effort to make people black people not support the effort to stop Putin and the fraction black people away from what's going on. Now, Joy Reid, it was her show. She didn't say it, but her guest, this black person, said it. And to me, this black person was nothing but a Negro Peter dead wench. Who got on there talking that mess. And then I saw a clip from The View, which I don't watch. That's the show with Whoopi Goldberg. Yeah. And there was a sister on there, and she was telling about what happened. Right. That these people are being racist against the blacks trying to get out and this, that, and the other.
They human too. I mean,
yeah. Well, this white Hispanic woman was on there, and she said flat out, it didn't happen. It's all a lie. It didn't happen. Hold up. And the black woman told her, she said, look, there's footage. We had video showing the racism that was going on.
10 different cameras.
From 10 different cameras. Okay? It didn't happen. And then Whoopi Goldberg chimed in. Damn, Whoopi. And she said, well, there are idiots on both sides or something along those lines. There's idiots on both sides. No. You know what, Whoopi? You are goddamn Negro people.
Okay.
You are. Because, like Edward R. Murrow said, I cannot accept that there are two equal and opposite views. Okay? That's crap. That's just crap.
Nah, see, what I don't understand is how can a person that's an actual savage, right?
Mm-hmm.
Kill, murder, torture, give babies to alligators. I mean, cut off people's head, all kind of inhumane things to a particular race, right? And then turn around and call the people that they doing it to the savages,
right?
And then stigmatize them people as the savages when they are the true savages.
That's right. It's called. What's that called? Damn.
But
the word
this
just slipped my mind.
This is what we've been bamboozled into believing.
Oh yeah, and it's called projection.
Right.
What they're doing is they're projecting their philosophy, their actual actions, their guilt and sliminess on the black people,
and then turn around and put a law in effect to make them feel bad when you tell them how you feel and how they did you. They don't want you to make them feel messed up. So
the only people,
you know what?
I'm gonna tell you about that.
Stop you from saying that.
From stop me from.
I say Second Amendment, and there's nobody that can take your universal human rights away from you. We stick to them two things and arm ourselves up. It's time to get it on. Man.
I'm glad you said the Second Amendment.
That's right.
Let me tell you like this.
They try to take that away.
The First Amendment is freedom of speech.
Right.
You have the right to say what you think
and video. Freedom of speech and video and all of that.
Yeah. Well, I want to stick with the freedom of speech.
Okay.
The Second Amendment is in case that don't work and I had to pop a
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what
you know what? And like I said about Whoopi.
That's crazy.
Let me break it down like this.
What, bro?
Okay. Agree to disagree is reserved for things like I don't like coffee. Okay, or I don't like to wear my jeans sag. That's when that's when you can agree to disagree. But we cannot agree to disagree on racism, homophobia, sexism, not basic common decency, not human rights. We cannot agree to disagree on the right to be treated equally regardless of race, religion, color, creed, or sexual orientation. We do not have a difference of opinion. We have a difference of morality, ass. the Open Eye, WHGE 95.3 FM.
Yeah. Hey yo, that was that, yo. Hey yo, he doing that. Hey Tracy. Hey, but Buck, I don't know, your boy is crazy, man. Your boy is crazy. Keisha, what's our sisters? Yo, boy, if you going in, I'm telling you. Yo. Oh my God.
The Open Eye, WHGE 95.3 FM.
Yeah.
Featuring Nsoromma
Yeah.
and Patrice Gibbs.
True that.
Yes, indeed. Mr. Gibbs, Nsoromma in the house.
Yeah.
Look, over in England, I seen a brother go roll up to the government building or wherever it was, talking about he want to sign up the fight for Ukraine. Brother, have you been watching the news and seeing these racist bastards and how they treat your people?
I mean, and then he gonna turn around and fight for a little kid in his hood that's the same color and help try to represent and help him better himself.
Really?
But you'll run over to Ukraine and help some people that you don't know, and that's gonna not benefit your culture.
And that's what, yep.
But see,
we have a history of doing this. We have a history of doing this. Okay? We fought King George for America and came home to enslave men. We fought the Confederacy for America and came home to Jim Crow. We fought the natives for America. That's where the Buffalo Soldiers started. Yeah. And came home to black codes. We fought the Central Power for America and came home to lynches. That was World War I. We fought the Axis powers for America and came home to segregation. That was World War II. We fought Korea for America and came home to slums. We fought Vietnam for America and came home to COINTELPRO. For those of you that don't know what COINTELPRO is, that was the FBI, the government's effort to infiltrate black groups fighting for our equality and what have you. Okay, infiltrated by the government.
Building up our community, trying to start our own community, our own.
Directly responsible for the death of Malcolm and Martin. Directly responsible for the death of Fred Hampton and Mark Clark. Directly responsible for the infiltration of the Black Panthers. This is what we came home to. We fought Iraq for America and came home to the new Jim Crow and mass incarceration. What do y'all black soldiers and patriots think is awaiting y'all if and when we return from the Ukraine? Tell you what, I'm a veteran, but I ain't going to no damn Ukraine for my old ass. Ooh,
yeah, man.
Okay.
It's a dirty world.
Yeah.
And a
war itself. It is.
Yeah.
War itself, of course, is a form of madness. This is a quote from Walter Cronkite. It's hardly a civilized pursuit. It's amazing how we spend so much time inventing devices that kill each other and so little time working on how to achieve peace. There's a reason for that. And that's the reason is the warmongering European is at this time running the world. You know that the army is one of the biggest gangs in the world? What are armies? Big gangs. That's what they are. Who rob other people, thanks, bro, and nations of their wealth. You know what? America running around telling people they're third world countries and what have you. Okay? Well, America is a third country because what they do, the reason those countries are third world and their economies are messed up is because America declares war on them, goes in and steals their resources. America is messy as hell. $30 trillion in debt, and you got the nerve to criticize anybody. That's amazing to me. That's just crazy. You know, I tell you what, it's amazing that we as Black people still have the resilience to stand up to what's going on here. Look, and this is from the brother Derek Bell, who was very instrumental in forming critical race theory. Thank you, Tracy, for this. And we had a little discussion on it, and I had a response to this. And what Derek Bell says, it appears my worst fears have been realized. We have made progress in everything, yet nothing has changed. Black people will never gain full equality in this country. Even those Herculean efforts we held successful will produce no more than temporary peaks of progress, short-lived victories that slide into irrelevance as racial patterns adapt in ways that maintain white dominance. This is a hard to accept fact that all history verifies. We must acknowledge it not as a sign of submission, but as an alternate act of defiance. Okay, I hear what the brother is saying. Okay, and my thing is this, but we need to stop seeking equality.
That's what I said.
And start seeking power.
Because our own power.
Our own power.
Taking
Right.
your power.
No.
It's getting our own community power, our banks, our businesses, you know, and we support each other. We keep our money in our community for 6 and 7 months instead of never keeping them in our community. It's not even staying in our community. Our money leaves our pocket and go to other people as soon as we get it. We have to flip our money at least 4, 5, 15, 16 times for real. And we don't even think about doing that. We don't want to support each other. And if you got a car wash or like your book, how many of us supported you for your book? I mean, I know I have, but how many people do you walk up to and say, yo, I got a book, man. I mean, you want to support me? Oh, man, I ain't got it right now, man. You know, it's always something. But then, yo, let me get a Newport. Hey, yo, let's go buy a pack. Yeah. And the pack costs $15 and the book only costs $5 or whatever. And the knowledge that you'll get from that book will be so uplifting that you probably wouldn't even want a cigarette.
How about that?
So, I mean, it's like crazy, man.
Yeah. And see, we have to understand power and what power is.
Right.
Power is the ability to assert and make happen that which is going to benefit you and your community.
Right.
That's what power is.
Power is financial stability, being able to not have to worry about where your next money's coming from to pay whatever it is you need to pay.
That's right.
You understand?
Right.
So when you develop a plan to financially stabilize yourself in the community, it'd be a better. Then they'll try to come through and burn it down like they did Rosewood.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I mean,
but those days are gone.
Yeah, then those days is gone. It's about arming up. And if you hear a whiff of somebody that's going to do that, you meet them before they get where they're going, and you give them the business like they do us.
Right.
And we have
exercise
that
power.
Right. We have
and understand what liberty really is.
You your own law enforcement. Anybody beating you upside the head, the cops is not going to be there immediately. They going to come in like 2, 3, 5, 10 minutes, however long they're away from you. Who's going to protect you during them 2.5 minutes before they get there?
Right.
It has to be you.
Right. And do you understand? Do people understand what liberty, what freedom really is?
Nah, they get it mixed up.
Yes, they do. And I'm going to tell you what it is. Freedom is when you own your own time.
Right.
When you do not have to sell your time and labor to someone else, especially outside of your community.
Right.
If you're selling your labor and your time to someone outside of your community, you are not free.
Right.
You are not free. You are dependent on someone else.
I mean,
for your livelihood.
Come up, get your own, study to get your own LLCs. I'm saying this to our black kids. You know, we're talented. And there's a lot of them that's talented, and they don't know the direction to go with the talent they have. And then they get used up in that slavery corporation that they have to go clock in for.
Word.
No, start your own LLC and become that independent person from the beginning. If I knew what I knew now when I was 18, I will be a monster. I will be another Jay-Z in the making. You know what I'm saying? Or made by then. But, you know, I had other things. I was into the streets and all kind of stuff that deterred me. Yeah, you know. And I don't want them to be 40, 43, getting this information, really have to absorb this information. If you put it in them now and put it in the air now, you know,
make it happen.
Yeah, you gotta, you know, it's messy, man. We gotta get it together, man.
WHGE 95.3 FM.
Yo. Lester! Ain't nothing pretty, but we gotta get to the nitty. Pulling you to the light, snatching from the door. Community be destroyed by the story of communication.
My city, Nsoromma, WHGE 95.3, the open eye. I got some quotes for y'all. Oh, yeah, I got some quotes for you. All right. If you don't vote for me, you're not black. I got your back. I don't know what works. Okay.
They do?
These were quotes from President Joe Biden. Okay, what's up with your why are you darking up over there?
My 5 minutes. I forgot to charge my joint.
Oh, silky. Right. If you don't vote for me, you're not black. I got your back. Jim Crow Joe said that.
He also said, he forgot. That's how long.
Well, who was it? This week,
what?
Joe Biden gave his first State of the Union speech as president. And it didn't mention the issues of black people hardly once. As a matter of fact, what he did was got up there and said, fund the police. Don't defund the police, fund the police. Okay? And what's his name? Jim Clyburn from South Carolina, who is considered the most powerful black man in government. Oh my God, we in trouble. Damn. Because Jim Clyburn ain't nothing but a buck broken coon. That's what he is. A buck broken coon.
Already shop from. You'll convert your spending into earning and begin to build your shopping annuity.
What?
The company provides technology, applications, and social media tools to support your efforts in promoting the products.
Okay. Is it back live?
Yeah.
Oh, that was interesting.
They always messing with you.
Yeah, they're messing with us, y'all. They're messing with us. Yeah. But he said, Jim Crow Joe said, I know what works. Oh, yeah. I'm sure you do, Jim Crow Joe, because you were the author of the 94 crime bill that you wanted called the Biden bill, which is directly responsible for mass incarceration. Fund the police. Fund the police. You know what that meant? When he said fund the police, he was letting white supremacy know that he didn't give a damn about black people.
Right. Do you think?
That's right. That's right. He said, choose, we cannot choose between safety and equal justice. We cannot choose between safety and equal justice. You know what? Dr. King addressed that. He sure did. Well, I'm going to tell you something here. Where is it? I know I got it. I made sure to bring that with me, right? Well, anyway, remember last year, or was it, or whenever the election was, 2020, okay, what I told you, all right? I told you that our choices in the presidential election were dismal. Biden, a white supremacist, and I know a lot of black people right here in Wilmington, Delaware, that would oppose me on saying that. I don't give a damn. You need to wake up and look at the reality of the people that you're dealing with. Oh, that's my cousin broke in on my thing here. Hey, cuz, hang up there, cuz. I'm on my radio show right now. I get with you. All right, all right. Look, like I said, he's directly responsible for the mass incarceration, and proudly so. That's why he said, I know what works. The answer is not fund the police. Fund the police. Okay, that's not the answer. The answer is not to defund the police, but to fund the police. That's what he says. Police departments all across the United States have received more funding in the last 2 years than in the history of the existence of a known police department in the United States. It has not decreased crime. It has not created a remedy for the injustice and violence that we're dealing with. Fund the police. Fund the police. Give the police more money. You know who's defunding the police? And I got this from Dr. Ritchie. Check him out. You know what's defunding the police? All the lawsuits that have to be paid because of the police brutality and murder. What's defunding the police? I'm going to tell you. The corruption and the stealing by those leaders of police departments and FOP heads, Fraternal Order of Police. Right? Y'all got to respect my time on the radio, family or otherwise. God damn it. Ooh. Like I said, you know, you can't, the FOP. Right now, the union head, the police in New York is under indictment for stealing their money. Fund the police. Fund the police. Give them more money to steal? The hell is wrong with y'all? Fund the police. Like I said, you know, now, a lot of his supporters, of course, are real upset. President Biden, you know, how could you come out with this at this time? And what have you? Who is the system? Look. We spend $107,575,000,000 more on police than on public housing.
Or education.
Or education.
You know?
Yeah. Police are funded. Our communities are not.
Right.
Okay? If you want, look, how many times have I taught you poverty breeds crime?
And ignorance.
And ignorance. Okay? If you want to do something about the crime, look, the police are reactionary to crime. They are not
coming to help.
Coming to help.
Right. They coming to lock you up.
They are not stopping crime at the foot of it, at the beginning of it, or preventing it.
There wouldn't be no need for them.
Right. You know? So if you want to bring down the crime, you have to bring down the poverty. You have to stop people from being abused economically.
Right.
Right?
Jobs. Right.
Not just, and see, that's another thing. Biden brags about all the jobs.
Not just the job. You want a job that gives your family benefits. Get your daughter her braces that she needs.
Exactly.
You want jobs with a future. And they talking about,
jobs that people can actually feed their families
Right.
and pay their damn bills. Who? Not a job where, you know, there was a time when I was coming up, it was coming to a close, where only one parent had to work. And that one parent, as your father, earned enough to take care of your family, go on vacation, buy a car, buy a house.
Right.
You know, now those days are gone. Look, Democrats, stop bragging about crap jobs that people need 2 or 3 on just to survive. People are tired of just surviving.
I mean, other countries look at America like we're a joke,
Okay.
which we are. Are you gonna do? You gonna go buy some crack pipes to help the community?
Jeez Louise, and I got to speak on that too.
I mean, like, think about what I just said. What kind of train of thinking that you have that you want to go, okay, well, the better the black community is, us going out to buy a bunch of crack pipes and make sure they got clean pipes to smoke their crack. What kind of person think like that? Okay, and that's where I'm at with it. This is what they're doing to our people and our kids. And this is supposed to kids. I'm not cracked out. I'm not gonna go back and do crack because I already know what it is. I know better, so I'm promoting drug free. Remember they say just say no, and the eggs in the pan frying, this your brain on drugs, and then all this other. Where is that at? That's not being directed at our kids in our community anymore because they want this crack thing and they want this drug thing to keep going on.
Right. Because remember where the crack came from. Because to me, I thought that the Republicans, Nancy Reagan, the demon Ronald Reagan wife, Ronald Reagan, he roasted hell. That's right. Right? He roasted hell, man. The devil sodomized him with a pitchfork. All right? I thought it was just the height of hypocrisy, considering that Ronald Reagan was responsible for the crack coming into our neighborhood, and then gonna send his wife out there and say, just say no. Well, it ain't just that easy to just say no, because people need treatment. And what they did with this war on drugs was they treated ill, sick, addicted people as criminals, bust up millions of families in our community, and what have you. Then when the opioid crisis came, which mostly affected white people, okay, then they came with compassion, they put up new treatment centers, and yo, I'm gonna give you these couple pills just to hold you over, and I'm gonna help you get off of these. You know, it was they never do that to help our community in no way. So why do we look for their help? Okay, stop looking for their help and their acceptance, and do your own thing. And take care of us. And take care of you, your family, and your neighbors and your friends, because the people that's next to you is the people that's going to save you. So, in saying that, it ain't nobody white that's in our community that's looking like us, that's saying they want to save us. And the high political realm. That's right. Okay? Right. So when you notice that that's not happening, it's something else going on. They want to keep us on the bottom of the chain of this thing. You know what I mean? So we have to step up off the chain. We have to ready ourselves and get our brains ready and get as much knowledge and education to better ourselves and arm up and get the Second Amendment on our side and the 30th Universal Right Amendment, which is you have no right to take away my rights, my human rights, and I'm protecting that with the Second Amendment. Damn right. Now, here's the thing. Like I said, Biden said fund the police. During his State of the Union, he paid absolutely no attention. And remember, he paid no attention to black issues on the real. And remember, without the black vote, without the Democrats' base, without their most loyal voter, if you don't vote for me, you ain't black. Yep. Biden would not be in office. And Cori Bush came out and said, with all due respect, Mr. President, you didn't mention saving black lives once in this speech. All our country has done is given more funding to police. The result, 2021 set a record for fatal police shootings. There was not one white fatal police shooting ever. Okay? What does that tell you again? Yeah. Ever. You know? That's right. Ever. Just this year. after 200 tries since 1901, just this year, okay, the anti-lynching bill finally passed the House. Now it goes to the Senate. Oh, it did not pass the House unanimously. There were at least 3 racist Republicans who voted against it. One of them said the anti-lynching bill takes away their right, their freedom of speech, their freedom of being an American, their freedom to hang black people. That's what they voted against. This is the crap that we're dealing with here.
Right.
And then Biden comes out and says, funding the police. Let me tell you this from Dr. King. All right. Dr. King said, first, I must confess that over the last few years, I have been gravely disappointed with the white moderate who black people think is their friend. And almost reached the regrettable conclusion that the Negro's great stumbling block in the stride toward freedom is not the White Citizen Council or the Ku Klux Klan, but the white moderate who is more devoted to order and justice. Dr. King. Wake the hell up, y'all. WHGE 95.3 FM.
Yeah.
You time flying.
Given the circumstance, the tape was given. Law enforcement, no questions, only killing. How you gonna question me? I ain't the villain. And right across the street, they running the track building. It's not only drugs, the building was gun filled in. Blind policy enforcers not even looking. Lock the wrong one, think they make a good booking. Car right next to him got the real cooking. It's a killing every day. And every port of my city, we're afraid to kill you for nothing that's petty. High off the wet or the call Betty. Wanna play the game, but the brain ain't ready. Got bad #1. My city, Nsoromma, streaming all platforms. Y'all gotta get that.
WHGE 95.3 FM, Open Eye. I'm Patrice Gibbs.
Nsoromma in the building.
Yes, indeed.
844-944-3953. Hit us up.
Don't be scared. That's what it is. And now that we got your attention, okay, here's what we suggest. Okay. Black Americans, those of you that vote Democrat, it's time for you to make the Democrats feel your displeasure. See, we are not a politically astute people. We clearly recognize the racism in the Republicans and what have you. And then not only turn around and ignore it from the Democrats, but you get a lot of black people that if you bring it up, they jump on your ass. I got your attention now? Okay? Yeah. That's right. That's why we don't need people like Joy Reid, who slyly brings in someone to speak against the reality of our issue. We don't need anybody like that. We think it's crazy that we deal with black conservatives. Oh, yeah, and don't get it mixed. Black conservatives are mostly insane, especially those that are true believers. Like that fool that ran up there talking about he's going to volunteer to go fight for the Ukraine, where these people clearly show you that they don't give, not only not give a damn about you,
Right.
but hate your guts.
How can you hate me and you don't even know me?
Don't even know me. Because that's what the indoctrination does.
Right.
That's what you're taught.
That's nice.
Your girl, Jane Elliott, she said, if you were educated in America and you didn't come out indoctrinated and racist as a white person, you got to go back and get re-educated because the education didn't take for you.
Right. The education teaches you that.
It teaches you that.
You know, how can that?
Yeah.
That's listen. That is the most savage. You know what I'm saying? That's just messy, man. And for a whole governmental structure that we directed at being a savage to these particular people all the time to make their economy work.
See, racism in America established and perpetrated by government systems. Remember, slavery was made legal by the U.S. government. Segregation, black codes, Jim Crow, and peonage were all made legal by the government and upheld by the judicial system. These acts of racism were built into the system, which is where the systemic racism is derived. This is a part of Black history they don't want taught. And you know what?
And the government is a corporation.
Oh, yeah. And I saw a little white girl was asked, why do you think they don't want the history taught? She said, because the people, and this was a little white girl, she said, because the people that don't want the history taught plan to do it again. Not here. I'll be damned. It's the open eye. Patrice Gibbs.
Nsoromma.
And as we always tell you, destiny determines who enters your life, but you decide who stays. Therefore, value those who value you, and don't treat those as a priority who treat you as an option. WHGE 95.3 FM. Yeah.
Yo, my phone died. My people were upset with me. Yo. Yo, what's good? Yo, thank y'all for tuning in. It's your boy, you know, Nsoromma. You dig what I'm saying? And hello to everybody. Celeste, Sabrina, yo, Tracy, Vaughn. Hey, yo, I see all y'all. I thank for y'all support. You dig? Yo, Pat.
All right, all right. Hey, I want to thank y'all for tuning in. And if I didn't mention you on the air and I didn't thank you for stuff that I got from you for the show, I want to thank you now. That's word. And no problem, because I know I'll be in touch. That's word. Not a biggie. All right, all right, all right. All right. Thanks for joining us. WHGE 95.3 FM.